Well, a National senator has accused TikTok of intimidating and bullying his office. That's ahead of the looming under-16 social media ban. Live at Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, normally people come here on their best behaviour. A little bit of a different circumstance today. What happened here?
Well, Ross Cadell using today's inquiry, Tom, into the looming social media ban to level this allegation at TikTok. He says at a previous hearing here in Parliament, whilst he was there directing questions at the social media platform, members of TikTok's government relations team had phoned his office and, in his words, had bullied and intimidated them, essentially telling them that this was not the right line of questioning that Senator Cadell was going down. It shows you the levels of lobbying that these platforms have been doing to try and avoid having to be part of this under-16 ban. Have a look at how this played out.
How is it that when I was in this hearing last time, a member of your staff phoned through the switch here and by intimidation of, oh, we get on very well with the leader's office, we get on very well with the shadow minister's office, you shouldn't be asking these questions, you shouldn't be saying this. If a staff member of yours in a government representation area is willing to phone through the switch to a senator's office while in the hearing and intimidate and bully, how can I believe your company doesn't have a culture that tolerates that?
I'm not aware of the details that you're talking about, and what I can say is that the team needs to operate professionally and appropriately at all times, and I have confidence that that's what we do.
Is TikTok not just a bullying behemoth that wants to get its own way at any cost?
Oh, absolutely not. Senator, I'm very happy to be here today to answer your questions.
Senator Cadell says TikTok did apologise to the member of his staff, but that only took place in the last few days in the lead up to them knowing that they were going to have to appear before this inquiry. We also heard today from a representative from Snapchat, a very popular platform amongst under-16s. Now, it's revealed it has lobbied the government to try and carve out an exemption for itself here. It's claiming that it is simply a messaging platform, that kids are just messaging one another using Snapchat. It points to data showing 75% of Australian usage is either messaging or video calls. They are seeking an exemption, but say if they don't get it, ultimately they'll have to comply, and therefore all these kids will be kicked off.
We will comply with the law, even though we believe that it has been unevenly applied and may risk undermining community confidence in the law. Beginning December 10th, we will disable accounts for Australian Snapchatters under 16. Taking that away does not necessarily make them safer, and it may instead push them towards other messaging services that lack Snapchat safety.
I mean, within that, yes, they're saying here's the downside, but they are actually saying they will disable the accounts.
And that's the point that the government's making today. Up until now, a lot of these big platforms have said it's just too hard, it's all very difficult for us to identify who would be under 16 and who's not. The very fact now these three major platforms, Meta, TikTok and Snapchat today, appeared before this inquiry saying that, yes, they will comply with the law. Ultimately, they don't believe it's a good one, but they're now saying in 43 days they'll be kicking off.
And they went from saying, oh, it's too hard, to now hoping that by implementing it, they'll annoy kids, parents, and get the government to back down. This is the pivot strategy, I guess.
And potentially, even if they, use the most draconian approach here, some of the social media platforms are saying that potentially people over 16 are going to be kicked off on December 10th.
They'll go the other way to
that,
annoy people.
if you look like your activity is something under 16, that your account could be deactivated or suspended for a period of time. So I think they're trying to put a whole heap of pressure on the government.
Moisturise really well, don't have enough wrinkles, you're in trouble maybe.
Quite make under 16.
I wasn't saying me, but thank you for the compliment, I think. Trudy, thank you.